Looks good.
All right, perfect. So aloha, everybody. My name is Rachel Kingsley. I am the Hawaiian Forest Bird Education and Outreach Associate for Maui Forest Bird Recovery Project, as well as the Alala Project. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Hawaiian forest bird conservation and what the kind of both of these projects coming together are working towards within the island of Maui. So first and foremost, Maui Forest Bird Recovery Project was established in 1997. It's a partnership between the state of Hawaii's Department of Land and Natural Resources and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, also part of the Pacific Cooperative Studies Unit and Manoa. Basically, what the work that they are trying to do is develop and implement techniques for the recovery of Maui's endangered bird species and to restore their critical habitat. So I'm sure you guys have heard this before, but the majority of the work that Maui Forest Bird Recovery Project is doing is working with the Hawaiian honeycreepers. They are a really unique family. At one point, one finch found its way here. It evolved into over 50 different species within the Hawaiian honeycreeper family alone. And so this is really the critical or the core group of birds that Maui Forest Bird Recovery Project is working with. Most of the birds that they work with are endemic to Hawaii, meaning found here and nowhere else in the entire world, which is really cool. So at one point there was over 50 different species of honeycreepers. Now, unfortunately, we only have less than a third of those left due to things like habitat loss, invasive species, disease, and climate change. So the work that Maui Forest Bird Recovery Project does is kind of focused around these 3 R's. So first being research. Primarily, the team is out on the ground trying to figure out what's going on with the native forest bird populations. So by researching these birds, going out and utilizing mist nets to capture the birds and take data of them, to tag them with little color bands and go out and recite those birds, looking at different breeding populations and how the nests are doing, and also, you know, capturing some of the birds and putting radio telemetry on them and tracking the birds to find out what they're doing and where they're going. So really researching the birds to figure out what is going on with them and how they are faring within our native forests. One of the most critically endangered birds on the island of Maui is the KIWIKIU. Unfortunately, the population is drastically declining. So we're out on the ground trying to figure out what's going on with these birds and why, and also kind of working on what we can do to save them. We're also researching mosquitoes. So avian disease is a really big topic right now that's affecting our bird populations, and the diseases are transmitted, unfortunately, by non-native mosquitoes. So we go out and are doing mosquito sampling by trapping mosquitoes, looking at the disease prevalence, kind of looking at the trends of where these mosquitoes are and that kind of stuff. The second big R that our project focuses on is restoration. So we are working out mostly in the Nakula Natural Area Reserve, trying to restore the habitat to what it once was. So the birds, unfortunately, are no longer there, or no longer there in the population or in the numbers that they once were, because the habitat is gone or very heavily altered, primarily due to grazing by ungulates. So our crew has been going out and reforesting this area, trying to plant native plants and bring back the forest to what it once was. And then the third big R that our project is working on is reintroduction. So kind of the biggest exciting news for this last year is that the Alala project was a project that was primarily focused on the island of Hawaii, dealing with the critically endangered Alala or Hawaiian crow. We are now taking the conservation efforts of this bird and bringing it to within Maui Nui, where there once was a corvid species. And so that's kind of the big thing that we're working on right now. As part of my job and a little bit of my background, I grew up in the Midwest, northern forests of Minnesota. I attended college at the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point and got a bachelor's degree there in wildlife ecology. I thought I was going to be a zookeeper, which is how I kind of wound up out here. Is I started working for the conservation breeding program that is run by San Diego Zoo. I've worked with Hawaiian birds now for over 13 years, which is really cool and really exciting. I kind of transitioned into education and outreach in 2017 and have been doing that ever since. And I also have a master's from Miami University. So that's a little bit about me. So like Serena mentioned, some really important things to just kind of, how can you get involved? What can you do? Volunteering is a huge one. So there's a couple opportunities. Again, like Serena mentioned, Maui Forest Birds unfortunately has paused our volunteer opportunities at the moment, but again, hoping to get that back up really soon. Doing things like educating yourselves and educating others, gaining experience as much as you possibly can. It's just, I can't stress that enough, because the more you know, the more you get involved, the more you're going to learn and find, you know, the right fit for you. So yeah, if you want to learn more about Maui Forest Bird Recovery Project, you can follow us online, you can email me, or there's our website as well.